Florida Senator Marco Rubio is with us from Colorado. Senator, good morning.
Good morning.
What do you think you achieved last night? Some are saying this may have been a moment for you.
Well, you've covered this long enough to know it's one debate in many. We have another one in 12 to 14 days, I think, and so we're looking forward to that. Every one of these is an opportunity oftentimes to introduce ourselves to people that have never heard about us or know very little about why we're running for president.
Senator, were you surprised that Jeb Bush attacked your attendance record? One of your local newspapers is also raising it as an issue. Is it a fair question?
Look, my campaign is not going to be about attacking anybody else. So my campaign is going to be about who I am and what's important for our country and the future of America. And that's what I'm going to continue to focus on. And it isn't going to change my feelings towards Jeb or anybody else in this race. I'm not running against them. I'm running for president.
But did you make that attack personal with Jeb Bush? I mean, he was once your mentor.
Well, it's interesting. Over the last few weeks, I've listened to Jeb. Yeah, again, I have great regard for him. I said that last night on the debate stage. I think what we should do is every candidate should run on who they are and what they stand for and what they'll do if they can become president. And let the Republican voters across this country decide who the nominee should be. If there are policy differences between us, we should discuss those differences. But I've never personally attacked anybody in this race, and I'm not going to start now. If other people decide they want to change who they are,
you called Hillary Clinton a liar, Senator. You called Hillary Clinton a liar.
Well, no, I said Hillary Clinton lied about Benghazi. There's no doubt about that, Charlie. I mean, there are emails in which she was talking to her family, and she was telling them that there was an attack on that consulate that was due to a terrorist attack by al-Qaeda elements. And then she was going around the country talking to the families of the victims and to the American people and saying, no, this is because of some video that someone produced
Senator,
that led to a spontaneous uprising.
That the CIA was changing its own assessment of what happened there during that time zone.
That's not accurate. It was clear from the very early moments after that attack that it was not a spontaneous uprising. It was a planned attack, well orchestrated by people that brought armaments to that attack that you would never see as part of a spontaneous uprising. What was very clear is that from the very early moments of that attack, she knew that it was a terrorist attack, as she shared by email with various people. And yet she continued to perpetuate the lie.
If you're calling her a liar by saying she perpetuated a lie, then why do you think she did that? What was her motive?
Well, that's very clear why. Because they were in the middle of a 2012 re-election in which President Obama had made the claim that al-Qaeda was being defeated and on the run, and this counteracted that narrative.
You were saying, Senator, that Hillary Clinton lied because she wanted to help Barack Obama in his re-election campaign. That's a serious charge.
Yes. Is that? Well, it's the truth. I mean, that's not only why she did it, that's why everyone in the administration did it. The narrative of their campaign at the time, Charlie, was that al-Qaeda was on the run and had been defeated. That was their narrative. And this countered that narrative. They didn't want that out there, and that's why they didn't tell the truth about what truly happened. And the families of those victims deserve better.
But are you denying that the CIA was sending different information as they assessed it and providing different information to the leaders of our government? And that was part of the reason
Let me tell you, Charlie, without
they made
violating
different assessments? Because
without violating any...
David Petraeus and
I don't
others
want to
have
violate
said
anything that's confidential or anything that's classified, but I'll tell you this. It was clear from the earliest moments after that attack that everyone on the ground and everyone closest to that attack knew almost instantly that this was an organized effort, not part of a spontaneous uprising, and there was never, ever any evidence that it had anything to do with a video that was produced by some guy out in California. And for them to further that narrative and continue to do so well after it had become clear that that wasn't the case, it was unacceptable. The American people deserve better, and the families of those victims in Benghazi deserve better.
At one point, Senator, I want to get back to the debates before you go. It appeared that the candidates seemed to be debating the moderators more than they were each other. Jeb Bush this morning said he did not think it was a fair debate. What's your assessment of the debate last night?
You know, I was disappointed because I thought CNBC is a station where we get into, they go into deep conversations on a daily basis about economics. And I thought last night was a night we were going to talk about what are your plans to reduce the debt? What should the role of the Fed be in our economy? What about this trade deal that we have? These are major economic issues. And instead of taking up those questions and really pressing the candidates on specifics, we had some of the other questions you had asked. And I thought it was a wasted opportunity. And quite frankly, that's what made it unfair, not just to the candidates, but to the American people. these are issues I was fired up and ready to talk about. I mean, this is why I run for president, on these issues that I spend a lot of time on and take very seriously. I know the other candidates do too. And we wasted an opportunity last night to do that, because you have to respond to questions such as some of those that were posed last night about, you know, Ben Carson and some website, or whether Donald Trump has moral authority. I mean, you know, wasted opportunity in what I thought was the perfect forum to go into deep detail about specific and pressing economic policy issues before America.
All right, Senator Rubio, we thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you. Thanks.